So you've been doing well on your self-improvement journey. You've been getting into the good habits, staying off the bad ones, and somewhere along the line, you're trying to get your friends on there too. Because towards the beginning, it can be very lonely, and I've been there myself. So you've been trying to get your friends on the good habits as well, but they just don't seem to listen, or they just have a really hard time getting on there, and if anything, they seem to be pulling away from you. I've been there completely, and if you can relate to any of the things I just said, give this video your full attention because I think it will genuinely change the way you work through your relationships with them. So, I'm going to start by sharing my story and the mistakes I made along the way. Maybe you can relate to those and take my advice a little bit more seriously. So, first off, I got onto self-improvement, right? 6 months ago, I decided to get off the bad habits, get onto the good habits, and I started doing the things for about a month without much social interaction. And at that point, I was really just lonely. I just, tremendous loneliness. And I didn't have any sort of social connection throughout my life. So I decided I was going to start spending more time with my in-person friends, and I completely left all the Discord communities, stopped hanging out with my friends online. And if you're a video gamer like me, I would highly recommend doing that. From what I've found, people that you know when you play a game or you have to have something to do when you're around them, they're generally not actually friends with you, they're more friends with the thing you're doing. So I found that the real friends are the ones that you can just sit there and talk to for a few hours, and they'll listen to you, listen to your problems, or maybe they talk to you and you just give input, and I think those are the real boys. So I quit my Discord friends. I started getting more into, I joined a church youth group, I joined a couple other things, I started making new friends in real life, and I wanted to get my friends onto self-improvement because when I was around them, I was like, what are we going to talk about? Because before, some of them were video gamer friends, but a lot of them I still did talk with them a decent amount, so they weren't just video game friends. And I'm like, how do I get these guys off video games and onto self-improvement? My original plan was just to talk about it with them. Honestly, that was probably the biggest mistake I could have done. I know you're like, what? Talking? Of course that's what you do, but no. I would speak way too much, and if they weren't looking for it, if they weren't looking for advice or looking for something like that, or trying to change in the first place, you can't help someone who doesn't want to be helped. So that was my big mistake. I would end up just almost preaching to them, lecturing them, and when their brain goes into that mode where they're like, oh, okay, they've registered, this dude's just preaching. Basically, they're not going to listen to you, and if anything, they're just going to pull away from you, and they're not going to want to do the things you tell them to do. So that was my first mistake. Second mistake was eventually when I did get my friends onto the good habits, or, let's say one of my boys starts getting into the gym. He sees this guy's getting in the gym. Oh, I gotta up my game. I'm gonna start getting in the gym. Right when they start getting into the gym or doing meditation or whatever it was, I would criticize him. I'd be like, oh, well, he'd be like, man, I just finished my 100th workout. Are you proud of me? And, well, he didn't necessarily say that, but I'd be like, oh, well, if you do use this routine, it'll be faster. I wasn't giving him the appreciation he needed and the positive reinforcement that my boys needed to keep going. So that was probably the biggest mistake I made as well. And 2 solutions to this. I'll start with the first problem, preaching. How do you let them know what the good habits are without preaching? So what I like to do is just mention them. just mention a few habits around them. Don't preach. Don't be excessive. Just mention, hey, I've been getting into the gym and I've been meditating, and just mention a few habits around them. And you'll notice that maybe a few of them, a couple, like kind of pique their interest. Like, oh, I heard about that, or oh, that sounds pretty cool. And once they say something like that, that's when you want to really not push that. Don't like shove it down their throat, but at the same time, like really just be there, like providing information. Like, oh yeah, I use this app for meditation, and oh, I use this routine, and you can buy these weights if you want to work out. Really just give them all the information they need to start, and kind of like encourage them. Be like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I really think you should get into that. And tell them about the benefits, all this, but don't get excessive. You don't want it to be like you're preaching. You're just showing them. I heard this analogy before. The menu, like it's like showing them a menu, and self-improvement menu. Each good habit, you're just showing it to them, and they can kind of select what they want, and then you're giving them the dinner, which is all the info and all the support they need to start on that self-improvement habit. If they're not interested in any of the habits, bro, I don't know what to tell you. I've never had that happen before. But yeah, that's how you solve problem one. Show them all the habits, and whichever one piques their interest, just give them the information and support they need to start that one. Don't preach, don't be over excessive. The second trick you can use to beat that other mistake I mentioned. Don't criticize. And when I say that, all these like, you should enjoy your male criticism, whatever kind of YouTube videos these guys are posting, they're all getting like super mad. They're writing a mean comment, but truth is, I would not criticize unless someone kind of is either, you can kind of read them. So if they're in the mood for it, or if they come to you like, oh man, what did I do wrong here? Like, my workouts aren't working out. What do I do? That's when you give the, oh, well, I don't think your routine should center more around legs and then upper body. I think, whatever. So wait for them to almost come to you for the criticism. There's this awesome book, if you're looking for it, called Thanks for the Feedback. It's about when people say something to you, what they're looking for in return. So if I say, oh man, I had a terrible day at school today, the bus was late, and so I had to walk, and blah, 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 blah. If I come to you for that, I'm not looking for you could have just rode your bike to school. Why didn't you? Like, I'm not looking for like a teacher moment. I'm not looking for like you could have done this. I'm looking for, oh man, that sucks. Hope you feel better, man. And the truth is, you kind of just need to read the moment. If they're coming to you like, oh, you proud of me, man? Like, I did 100 workouts. Be like say, yeah, like send them a voicemail. Be like, hey, I'm really proud of you. I've been seeing you hit a bunch of workouts, and keep it up. Like, that's probably some of the best stuff you can say to any of your friends if you want to keep them on self-improvement. So once they get onto the good habits, the way to keep them on and to keep them moving forward into more good habits and to push them forward like into almost full-time self-improvement, maybe not quite, is just positive reinforcement along the way. As many times as you can. Just, you see them do something good, mention it, say it. Like literally right now, if you're watching this, you have no excuses. Right now, pause the video, don't keep watching YouTube, send one of your friends, you have someone in mind, probably popped up into your mind right now, send one of your friends, send a voice message to them and say, hey man, I've been seeing you hit a lot of workouts recently and I'm really proud of you. Or, hey, I've noticed you've been getting better grades in school and focusing on that, and I just want to say that's really awesome. And whatever, just send them a voice message right now. You can text them, but I find it's more personal to send a voice message. I think that's just the better way to go. Or you can do it on a call, however you want. But You have no excuses. That is... Basically, you have to do it. If you've watched this far into the video. So, there's my challenge for you. I think you got it in you. Thanks for watching, and I'll just put a couple videos up here. I only have like 2 of them. You can watch this if you want to learn a little bit more about me, and you can click right here if you want to give me some free watch time, or maybe you're trying to start a YouTube channel about gaming. That's gonna be amazing for you. So thanks for watching, bro. I really hope this helped. It is going to be very difficult to get your friends on self-improvement, but I think this video is one of the best starts for you. So take care, man.